Welcome all. In this session, I'll be taking up some of the good questions on steam turbines. This topic is very important both from GATE and engineering services point of view. So therefore, I have taken, it will be a dual advantage. So it serves the purpose both for GATE and engineering services examination. So recently, this syllabus is added in GATE. It is already there in engineering services, but recently it is added in GATE examination. Okay, chalo, let's start. Let us take up some of the questions. I expect you that you have gone through the theory. So I'm just covering numericals on steam turbines, just numericals. Okay, fine. Let us take up the first question now. Consider the following statements regarding compounding in steam turbines. In impulse turbines, he is talking about now. In impulse turbines, steam pressure remains constant between the ends of moving blades. Yes. In impulse turbines, the static pressure remains constant from inlet to exit. So the first statement is correct. Now, in reaction turbines, the pressure drops from inlet to outlet. Yes. Continuously, the pressure decreases in both moving and fixed blades. So that is also correct. In velocity compounding, partial expansion of steam takes place in nozzle and further expansion takes place in rotor blades. So let us observe this. It is velocity compounded impulse turbine. In velocity compounded impulse turbine, so let us observe clearly. There is a nozzle and now we have a moving, then we have fixed. Okay. Observe here. So in case of velocity compounded impulse turbine, the complete pressure drop I repeat, in velocity compounded impulse turbine, the complete pressure drop occurs in nozzle and thereby the velocity increases. So, but he used the word partial expansion. It's not partial expansion, it is complete expansion in nozzle. He says partial expansion in nozzle. So this statement is wrong. So in velocity compounded impulse turbine, the complete expansion is occurring in nozzle, but he says partial expansion. So the third statement is wrong. So the third statement is wrong. So the correct answer is 1 and 2. I repeat, the correct answer is 1 and 2. Now let's move to the next question. In a simple impulse turbine, the nozzle angle is 30 degree for maximum diagram efficiency. I repeat, in an impulse turbine, of course, simple impulse turbine, the example is D-level turbine. So in a simple impulse turbine, the maximum efficiency is given by 1 plus K cos square alpha. I repeat, 1 plus K cos square alpha by 2, where alpha is nozzle angle. But he is not asking maximum efficiency. Do not get confused. And if K is 1, if the friction is neglected, ideal flow, K is actually VR2 by VR1. If K is 1, VR1 is equal to VR2. So when K is 1, so 1 plus 1, 2, 2 is gone. So you get cos square alpha. So if you are substituting alpha as the 30, cos 30 is 0.86. 0.86 square is 0.75. But he is not asking maximum efficiency. He is asking blade speed ratio for maximum efficiency. I repeat, he is asking blade speed ratio for maximum efficiency. So therefore, the blade speed ratio is given by U by V1, and that is nothing but cos alpha 1 by 2. This is for impulse turbine, and for 50% reaction turbines, this rho will be equal to cos alpha for maximum efficiency. But it is simple impulse turbine. So therefore, cos alpha 1, here the angle is given as 30 degree, alpha is 30, so therefore it is cos 30 by 2. So the answer is cos 30 is given in the problem 0.866 by 2, and this is 0.433. So please note down, had the efficiency been asked, it would have been cos square alpha, that is 30, and we would have got 0.75. But in the problem, efficiency is not asked, he is asking blade speed ratio, so it is 0.433. Okay, right. Let's move to the next question. Now, a good question. For maximum bleeding efficiency, that is maximum bleeding efficiency, the work done in a single stage 50% reaction turbine. Okay, we know, my dear students, the work is given by VW1, and we know that power is equal to m dot into VW1 plus or minus VW2 into U. We know that depending on the exit velocity triangle, if the directions of both VW and VW2 are same, then we get minus. If directions of VW1 and VW2 are opposite, you get plus. So for maximum efficiency, so if you want more power, it will be plus. So therefore maximum efficiency, so therefore it will be plus. Now, so if you want work will be equal to power by mass flow rate. So therefore work is equal to VW1. Now I am taking plus. Power by mass flow rate. Now I am taking plus. That is VW2 is the work into U. This is the work. So let us try to calculate. So he is asking what is the work done? VW1 plus VW2 into U. Wonderful. Now observe here. It is a 50% reaction bleeding. Okay. And clearly he said axial exit. Understand carefully. For if this is the brain and this is leaving, it comes out with a relative velocity VR2. Let the moment of the motion of the blade be rightwards. So therefore now this is our U. Wonderful. But clearly he said axial exit. So therefore this is the axial exit. This is the axial exit. So this will be our V2. Whenever he clearly said axial exit, whenever it is axial exit, my V2 is VF2. And clearly the complete absolute velocity is in flow component, so therefore there is no whirl component, so there is no tangential component. So I will write at the exit VW2 is equal to what? 0. So when VW2 is 0, the work done is given by VW1 into U. Wonderful, my dear students. Now, but the answer is given in terms of that is blade speed U. So what to do? Ek baar dekhna. So if I go to the inlet triangle, it will be something like this. Okay, it will be something like this. Now this is the absolute velocity. This is the absolute velocity V1, and this is the angle alpha, and from fixed blades, and this is our U, and this is our VR1. Okay, so if you see the what I say, the tangential component of V1, this will be our VW1. So I can write VW1 is equal to, if you want VW1, it will be V1, opposite is sine, this is cos, so V1 cos alpha 1. Wonderful. So if you want power for axial exit, it is VW1 into U. Okay, no problem. So VW1 is V1 cos alpha 1. Look at my dear students. And he clearly said for maximum efficiency, I have already derived in my regular classes, for maximum efficiency, the blade speed ratio U by V1 is cos alpha 1. This I had given very clearly. So therefore, rho is equal to U or U is equal to V1 cos alpha 1. Wonderful. So therefore, VW1 is equal to V1 cos alpha 1. So therefore, what is V1 cos alpha 1? V1 cos alpha 1 is U for maximum efficiency. So VW1 is equal to U. Whenever the efficiency, I'm talking about 50% reaction ratings, whenever the efficiency is maximum, our rho will be equal to cos alpha. So VW1 is U. So if I substitute here, work is equal to VW1 is U. This is also U, and therefore it is U square. So the answer is U square. Okay, right. So now let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next question. Steam enters a D level. Please note down that D level is a simple impulse turbine. I repeat, D level is a simple impulse turbine. What is the with an inlet velocity of 30? The inlet velocity is 30 and leaves with an outlet velocity of 10. What is the work done by 1 kg steam? Look at carefully. So we have the equation for work as VW1 minus VW2 into U, that is Euler's equation. And in my regular classes, I already derived one more equation for work, that is V1 square minus V2 square by 2 plus U1 square minus U2 square by 2 plus VR2 square minus VR1 square by 2. This I had given, no problem at all. Observe carefully. This is known as impulse effect. So by taking inlet and outlet triangles, I had derived this equation. So this is known as the impulse effect, and this is known as a centrifugal effect, and this is known as reaction effect. In case of D-level turbine, so if I take ideal case, VR1 is equal to VR2, so there is no reaction effect. And the fluid is entering the vein at the same diameter and leaving at the same diameter. U is pi d n by 60. So U1 is equal to U2 because pi d n by 60 it is entering and leaving at the same diameter. So U1, U2 are same. So therefore, the work done is given by V1 square minus V2 square by 2. So therefore, now let us calculate. This is very, very important, my dear students. Whenever absolute velocities are given, this equation will help you a lot. That's why we call it as impulse effect. So the work done is given by V1 square. What is V1 square? 30 square minus V2 square. What is V2 square? V2 is given as 10 square by 2. And if you calculate this, I think you are getting 40 into 20. So you are getting about this is 900 and this is 100 by 2. I think it is about 400. So therefore it is 400. Okay na? Chalo. Now we'll move to the next one. This is the question. In a reaction, in a 50% reaction staging, the absolute velocity in a 50% reaction, the absolute velocity is 45. It's not degree. Let me check the speed. The absolute velocity at the inlet angle, this is X second. Okay. The mean peripheral speed is, blade speed is 75. And the absolute velocity at the exit is actual. Just now I have told you, whenever it is a 50% reaction blading and whenever the exit is actual, just now I had derived, the work is given by U square. Just now, I think it is second or third question, just now I derived, work is U square, just now I derived. So work is U square. So therefore W is equal to, this is, please note on that it is for 50% reaction and exit actual. When the exit is actual, so this is the equation. This is the equation. That is, just now I derived, W is U square. How? देखो एक बार, VW1 plus VW2 or plus or minus into U is the work. But for actual exit, V2 will be equal to VF and VW2 is equal to 0. So therefore this is 0. And you will get VW1 into U. But you know, for 50% actually, this is a 50% reaction blading and actually this यहाँ पे बोला था absolute velocity of the axial inlet is 45 and this condition turns out to be cos rho is equal to U by V1. Rho is equal to cos alpha. Wonderful, my dear students. Rho is equal to cos alpha. And just now I derived and you got this as U square. And what is the value of U? U is given as 75. So 75 square is turning out to be 8 7 56 5625. So therefore it is 5625. Actually it is for the maximum efficiency. That word is missing here. Okay, chalo, now we'll go to the next one. Now please understand, 50 stage reaction turbine, 50% is a Parsons reaction turbine. So A is matching to 2, A2. This is not correct, this is not correct. Okay, aga, direct. And velocity compounded, Curtis turbine is a velocity compounded. Okay, and a single stage impulse is a D level turbine, that is C is matching to 4. And D, what is D? Pressure compounding. Pressure compounding is a Rative turbine. Pressure compounding is a Rative turbine. So therefore it is 2 3 4 1. Wonderful, wonderful. Next, we'll go to this question. At a particular section of a reaction turbine, the diameter is 1.8 meter and the flow velocity is 49 meter per second. And the quantity of stream flowing, this is given in meter cube per second, means it is discharge. Therefore, I am writing Q as 5.4 meter cube per second. The blade height is. In my regular classes, I have given the flow area as I have clearly explained, it is pi dh. I clearly explained this as pi dh. How? Let me explain clearly. Let us assume these to be blades. If I neglect blade thickness, the fluid is flowing through this. The fluid is flowing through this. Okay. Now, this is the flow area. If I reduce, neglect the thickness, okay, let this be R inner. Let this be R outer, and we know that this is the height of the blade. This is the height of the blade. This is the height of the blade. So I can write, if I neglect the thickness, the fluid is flowing through this area. If I neglect the thickness, what will be the area? It will be pi RO square minus RI square. This is the area. Wonderful. So this can be written as pi into RO plus RI into RO minus RI. Okay, no problem at all. So let me do like this. Pi into RO plus RI into, what is RO minus RI? RO minus RI is H. RO minus RI is H. Wonderful, my dear students. Now, we know that mean radius is given as RO plus RI by 2. So, I'll multiply and divide with 2. Okay, I'll multiply and divide. So, what is this? It is nothing but mean radius. So, this can be written as 2 pi mean radius RM into H. So, twice the radius is diameter. So, it will be pi dmH. That's why I told very clearly. So, the area is pi dh. Now, discharge is equal to area into velocity. So what is the discharge given? It is 5.4 and the area is pi dh. What is the diameter? What is the diameter given? The diameter is given as 1.8 into h, and into pi dh is the area. Pi dh is the area into velocity. Which velocity? Whenever you are calculating discharge, it has to be flow velocity, flow velocity, flow velocity. And the flow velocity is already given to us as 49. So let me calculate. So it is 5.4 upon pi 1.8 by 49. And I'm getting this as 0.0195. So 0.0195. So therefore I'll write it as 1.95 centimeter, or approximately it is 2 centimeter. So that is the height of the blade. Okay, chalo, we'll move to the next one. Now, in an impulse turbine, the power produced is 50 kilowatt. So I'll write this as 15 to 10 power 3 watt. The blade speed is 400. The rate of change of tangential momentum. Please look at. We know that the tangential force on the wheel is nothing but change in the tangential momentum, that force. So that can be written as m dot into Vw1 minus Vw2. This is the change in momentum. This is the change in momentum. Okay, no problem at all. No problem at all. So he is asking this value. He is asking this value. Whether it is plus or minus, it depends on the exit velocity triangle. Okay. Now, power is also equal to tangential force into velocity, and already this tangential force is this change in tangential momentum, means it, so he said what is the rate of change of tangential momentum, means indirectly he is asking tangential force, rate of change of momentum in tangential direction. So rate of change of momentum is what? Force. And which force is he asking? Change in tangential momentum. So he is asking tangential force. So therefore the power is given by 50 into 10 power 3 is equal to Ft. What is Ft? We do not know. Into U, that is 400. So you will get the value of Ft. So let me check. Kitna aa raha? 125 na? Oh no, 50. 1, 2, 3 by 400. I think 125. Yes. Is it 125? Yeah, it is 125. It is 125. Okay. So we'll move to the next one. VB is not blades, it is a blade speed, and the efficiency of impulse turbine is maximum. I have derived in class for maximum efficiency, rho is equal to U by V1, that is equal to cos alpha by 2. This is for impulse turbine. If it is reaction turbine, it will be cos alpha only. So what is the blade speed given in the problem? We have taken blade speed as U, but he has given it as VB. And what is V1? The absolute velocity, which is which he has given it as V, and that is equal to cos, and alpha is nozzle angle. We have taken it as alpha 1, he is taking it as alpha by 2. So therefore, the blade speed is equal to 1 by 2 is 0.5. This V comes to the side, 0.5 V cos alpha. Where is that? 0.5 V cos alpha. Yes, it is the right answer. Okay, chalo. Let's move to the next. The correct sequence given in the center in the ascending order of efficiency, in the increasing order of their efficiency. Let's check. I have explained clearly in my regular classes why the efficiency of reaction turbine is more than the efficiency of impulse turbine. So which turbine is efficient? I have also shown you. Dekho ek baar. If you see, let us take this as efficiency, and this is cos alpha 1 by 2. So here I am taking rho. Okay, so let this be 0 and let this be cos alpha 1 by 2, and this is cos alpha 1. And I had explained in class, I explained very clearly how this graph is coming. Now if I superimpose your reaction turbine, for a reaction turbine the efficiency will be maximum when the blade speed ratio is alpha, but for impulse the efficiency will be maximum when the blade when rho is equal to cos alpha by 2. And if I superimpose both, you will get something, the maximum efficiency is something like this somewhere. So when the blade speed ratio is about cos alpha, when it is cos alpha, the efficiency will be maximum. This so therefore compared to impulse turbine, reaction turbine efficiency is more, and I had explained this very clearly in class, because in impulse the input is only kinetic, but in reaction the input is both pressure and kinetic. So in reaction turbines both pressure and kinetic energies are responsible for developing power. Okay, now so therefore, so Parsons is the reaction turbine. So he is asking in ascending order. So which turbine has highest efficiency? Reaction turbine. So reaction, ये सब में reaction कौन सा है? Parson. तो highest किसको होना चाहिए? Parson. So end में last में ascending बोला तो increasing. Highest should be for reaction. So this is reaction, this is reaction. So D level is impulse, ये नहीं होगा. Now, wonderful. One more thing. So due to compounding, you are getting less rotor speed and maximum utilization. So compared to simple impulse turbine, compounded turbines they have high efficiency. So therefore, पहले क्या आएगा? D level is a simple, उसका efficiency कम. उसके बाद, and I explained in my regular classes why the velocity compounded impulse turbine has less efficiency compared to the pressure compounded. I explained this in class. So therefore, so compared to pressure, Curtis is velocity compounded and Rative is pressure compounded. I explained in class why the pressure compounded impulse turbine has more efficiency than the velocity compounded. So therefore, this is the increasing order, and this is a good question. This is a good question. So the answer is C. Okay, chalo. Now we'll move to the next one. Look at the graph shown in figure, the variation of absolute velocity of steam along the length of the turbine. Okay, and I told you very clearly, एक बार देखते हैं. Let us take care of this. Fixed, moving, so on and so forth. Okay, now, in case of reaction turbines, of course, if I draw the pressure is decreasing, and in the fixed blades, they are of nozzle type. So as the pressure is decreasing, the velocity is increasing. In moving blades, again the pressure decreases. In moving blades, the velocity decreases. That's why I told you, in reaction turbines, in moving blades, both pressure and velocity, absolute. I explained very clearly in case of reaction turbines why the relative velocity increases in moving blades. All these I had explained, but he is talking about absolute velocity. The absolute velocity decreases and the pressure decreases, and both are both are responsible for developing power. That's why they are efficient. And again in moving blades, again in fixed blades the pressure decreases, and in fixed blades the velocity increases. Moving blades both decrease. So if you see, this is coming out to be a reaction turbine. But now the doubt comes, sir, what if it is a reaction, this pressure compounded impulse turbine? You know, my dear students, in pressure compounded impulse turbine we have nozzle moving. Okay, if it is a pressure compounded, look at, in nozzle the pressure decreases, the velocity increases. In moving, if impulse, I'm talking about impulse turbine, I'm talking about pressure compounded impulse turbine. In moving the pressure is constant, and this if for impulse turbine it decreases, because this in impulse turbine the absolute velocity is responsible for developing power. The decrease in kinetic energy results in development of power. In nozzle again the pressure decreases, and in nozzle the velocity increases, and in moving the pressure is constant, and in moving the velocity decreases. So if you see this diagram, even it is matching for pressure compounded. So Curtis is a velocity compounded, तो velocity compounded के लिए ऐसा नहीं होगा. And D level is the simple impulse turbine, ऐसा नहीं होगा. It's not radial turbine. So therefore, in place of this, if he gives, for example, in place of this, if he gives Rative turbine, and say this is a multi-select question, so what will be your answer? अगर उस प्लेस में देता है तो Parsons and Rative both are correct. So ये तो Parsons के reaction turbine के लिए है. And so, but in this case it is radial given, not Rative turbine. So the correct answer for this is D. Correct for this case is D. Okay, chalo. Let's move to the next question. And compounding of steam turbines is done. I explained very clearly. In case of steam turbines, if you see, the boiler pressure is about, if it is a high pressure boiler, so it's about greater than 80. And maybe 100, 150, 180. If it is a supercritical boiler, maybe 220, above 220, 221.2, maybe 250 bar also. And the condenser pressure is very much less than atmospheric. And if you see the ratio of boiler to condenser, it's very high, unlike gas turbines. In gas turbines, the ratio is, pressure ratios are about 10, 12, something like that. But here, it can even touch 4,000. So if the pressure ratio is so high, the rotor speed will be, if all is expanded in a single turbine with huge ratio, the rotor speed will be very high. Therefore, compounding is done to reduce the rotor speed. So therefore, this is the answer. Okay, chalo. Now, let's move to the next. The figure shows the variation of certain steam parameter in case of simple impulse turbine. So what are the curves A, B, C representing? Okay, chalo. Let's see, what are these curves ABC representing? Look at, it is nozzle. Blade का मतलब यहाँ पे it is moving blade, and it is an impulse turbine. So in nozzle, what will increase? You tell me. In nozzle, what will increase? Velocity. And in moving blades, what will decrease? Velocity. So these curves are shown for velocity. So if he says pressure, how does it look like? So if it is nozzle and if it is moving, impulse की बात कर रहे हैं, तो in nozzle the pressure decreases, and in moving the pressure is constant, and in nozzle the velocity is increasing. So if there is energy transformation, pressure is converted into velocity, and then in moving the velocity decreases. So this is responsible for developing power in case of impulse turbine. So therefore he is asking this one. So therefore the velocity is increasing, and thereby in moving blades it is decreasing. Wonderful. So the answer is velocity. This is showing velocity. Now, in Parsons reaction turbines, so Parsons is a 50% reaction blading. Parsons is a 50% reaction blading, and you know very well, for 50% reaction blading, alpha 1 is beta 2, alpha 2 is beta 1, alpha 2 is beta 1, then V1 is VR2, and V2 is VR1. Iska matlab, my triangles are similar, something like mirror image. So for 50% reaction, my triangles are mirror image. So congruent is nothing but mirror image. Congruent is nothing but what? Mirror image. So therefore for 50% reaction bedding, it is congruent. It is congruent. Okay, chalo. Now we'll move to the next one. Now, reheat factor. I had derived the equation for reheat factor in my regular classes. Recently we completed. So the overall efficiency is stage efficiency into reheat factor. This equation I derived. So this is overall efficiency. This is the reheat factor. This is the stage efficiency. And the reheat factor is generally 1.03 to 1.04. 1.04. This already I had explained. Okay, right. We'll move to the next one. This is one of the important equations, and I derived this equation in my regular classes, but this can be asked in our examination. So objective for 50% reaction bleedings, the Parsons is the 50% reaction bleeding. The maximum bleeding efficiency is given by 2 cos square alpha by 1 plus cos square alpha. This is the equation. So this is very, very important equation. It can be asked. Okay. Now, so we have seen up to this. So what we do is, now remaining questions. So we have done 16 questions, and remaining questions I'll be doing it in the second video. Okay. So from 17th to remaining, I'll be doing it in the second video. Thank you. This is steam turbines first part. Now I'll take up the second part. Okay. Thank you.